What's happening, everybody? I'm Steve, and welcome back to Junkdrummer TV, where I give my initial reactions, my hot takes, and my analysis on the drummers of today and yesterday, and maybe tomorrow if I stick around that long. Up until 5 weeks ago, I was a professional drum teacher, and I was a gigging musician, and I was those things for 20 plus years. Before we start with the video, I'd like to thank my newest patron, Astrophysics Expert. Thank you very much. So here it is, everyone. You've all been yelling at me, you've all been texting me, you've all been sending me screenshots. One thing I have found out about my viewership is none of you all understand the concept of delayed gratification. Because as soon as this video was dropped, I woke up to every way possible to get hold of me was utilized in telling me to do this Danny Carey video. Obviously, I was going to do this Danny Carey video, but I've already done 2 on him, and I wanted to put some space between the last one and this one. Also, does anyone else remember when Wuhan was just a reasonably priced China symbol? Oh yeah, this is also quarantine video number 11. So as I said before, I've done 2 Danny Carey videos already. Please go check them out. You know, a lot of commenters were kind of bitching about the quality of those videos, and at the time, that was the only drum cam we had of him. And Vic Firth? Yeah, Vic Firth finally gave us a quality drum cam video, so obviously I was going to go do it. Please go check out those other Danny Carey videos. On all those preambles, I talk about how much I love Danny Carey, what he means to me, blah, blah, blah. But this is an 11-minute video, so we've got to get into it because this video could end up being very, very long. Before we do that, everyone please check out my Patreon. Please check out my merch table. Let's get into Danny Carey playing Pneuma with Tool, man. Tool. It's so dad of him to wear all these jerseys. What kind of drum pad is that? He's getting different sounds from the middle to the edge. What kind of pads are those? You know, he uses electronics a lot, and unlike my crappy electronic drum set, those electronic pads are really sensitive and actually picks up double strokes. Now that's that wave drum. Here comes the math. Here comes the devil's arithmetic. Be sure to check out the Danny Carey signature drumstick. Man, this whole record just takes its time. You know, they really abandoned the 4 or 5 minute, you know, like traditional song. With this record, they really asked for a lot of your attention. I think it was on purpose. I think they know we live in a microwave society, and they were like, look, if you've been waiting for this for 13 years, or however long it was, and we're going to make you pay attention to us. Math. Is his setup now always that hi-hat up front? See, I didn't see them on this tour. Doesn't seem like I'm going to be able to see them anytime soon either. I wonder what that snare drum is. It's got a rim like a marching snare drum, but I know it's not. It sounds too good to be a marching snare drum. Yeah, he doesn't have a hi-hat in the traditional place. This is a completely different drum setup for him. That is classic Danny Carey. We're going to see a lot of classic Danny Carey in this. This is in like 11 or 13 or I don't know, some other devil's geometry. And he never just really stays in just like eighth notes. He's always playing one ands and one andas and one uhs in his right hand. It's where he really shows his Bill Bruford. It's real Bill Bruford influenced. If you've ever listened to him a lot with like King Crimson, which obviously is one of his favorite bands and Tool's favorite bands. He is jacked. This dude is 58 years old. I'm 15 years younger than him, and he looks way younger than I do. I miss the gym. So dynamic. Not a lot of like heavy drummers plays with the minutia that he does. That's why drummers love him so much. He's a Mount Rushmore. If you're going to put a Mount Rushmore, oh god damn. If you're going to put a Mount Rushmore together, Danny Carey's on it. I love this riff. Is that like a gigantic MIDI cat behind him? Here was that was in 4. Okay, so that is a great example of anytime that me and my friends have been talking about the new Tool record, you know, it's a great record. It's not my favorite Tool record. My favorite Tool record is probably somewhere between Anima and 10,000 Hours. I think of this Tool record as it's like a Danny Carey solo record with Tool as a backing band. Like that right there, that down, 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 blah. It's like, okay, here's these really easy hits. Danny Carey be kick-ass in between all of those. So, you know, they're giving him, it's very kind of a fusion thing, you know, hits, crazy drum fill, hits, crazy drum fill. And that is what I always, when I heard this for the first time, I was like, this is just a showcase, like a Danny Carey showcase. As if Danny Carey needed a showcase. He is so jacked. I gotta get back to the gym, man. That's a classic Danny Carey thing there. He uses his snares off a lot. I didn't even see him turn the snares off. Double strokes, baby. Learn your rudiments, kids. Okay, are the snares on and then now off? I guess they're off. Using that rototom in there. You know, he's real famous for, you know, tuning his kit to the key of the song. And, you know, a lot of their songs are in drop D. So more likely his drum set, I would guess, is tuned to drop D. Which would be like, you know, probably the tuning is like D, F, A, C, E. F sharp would be in there and C sharp would be in there, I think. One of the things he does really well, we've talked about it before on the other videos, is he makes odd times feel so not obviously odd time. He hides them really well and makes them feel really good. People don't talk enough about, here it is, man, it's just the four-way independence that he does. But people don't talk enough about his just groove, man. Remember, this guy recorded a record with Carole King. This guy's groove is amazing. It's the thing, because there's so much ornamentation to his playing, that the center of what he's doing, on top of all these badass god drum fills that he plays, I want to do anything in my life that well. For like 5 seconds. I want to do anything in my life as good as he does drumming. Let's talk about his groove, man. His groove is so underrated. You know, you always think about just his insane arithmetic and his uniqueness and his creativity, but at the bottom of all that, he can get by with a lot of that over the top playing, because at the bottom of it, his groove is so pocket feel, just wide. It makes me want to go get electronic stuff. And this is why they call him the octopus. There's so much advanced Sunday school going on here, man. It's overwhelming. It's so tremendous. It's so easy. You know, I've said it all before, but it bears repeating, as Jack White said. You know, that Lars Ulrich video I did actually blew up again lately. I'm getting so many haters about how Lars Ulrich it's okay that he's playing like shit now because he's old. He is 3 years older than Lars Ulrich. Bears repeating. And he's playing the best that he's ever played. As an artist, he's doing exactly what you want to do. You should be getting better as you get older. As a 58-year-old, he probably thinks he's way better than he was when he was 25. That's what the great artist did. And I'm talking about music, art, all of it. Those jazz guys that played until they were 75, they were just as good, if not better, at 75 than they were when they were 30. I don't even know why I have sticks in my hands. There's nothing here I can show you. Yeah, man. You know, what he's dealing with here is a thing that I talk about in lessons when we're dealing with independence. You know, the independence that I deal with is not even in the same ballpark of what he's doing. But it's almost like you have to split your brain up in quadrants. You have to think, you know, left, right, or right, left, right? And then you split that up, you know, X, Y. And then you're thinking about what your right hand and left foot's doing, and your left hand and right foot, and both feet, and both hands, and then these three, and then these three. That's what he's dealing with here. This is why you have to you're not going to find too many dumb, like stereotypical dumb drummers being able to do this, because this takes a lot of concentration and intelligence on top of just the physical part of it. Quadrants, that's what he's thinking about right now. How is my right foot lining up with my left foot, and when it does, and when it lines up with my left hand, how does it line up with my right foot? It's maddening. I had to put this record down for a while because it was fucking with my sleep. I couldn't sleep because shit like this was going on, and I'm just not. Again, this is like an illiterate man trying to explain James Joyce to you. Jesus Christ. So what's going on here, I think, is, you know, I've heard, and we have heard some negative reviews of this record. Let's just get it out there. And I think this is kind of the stuff that people were talking about, where it can be seen as a little bit self-indulgent. Like, I know my bass player in my band, who is a big Tool fan, thought that it was a little bit too self-indulgent. And maybe, but they can get by with it. He's wearing what looks to be like wrestling shoes. Even when he's playing fast patterns, it's just all so... He likes doing that triplet feel right there and causing tension over what the guitar players are doing. Guitar player is doing. Watching him do this song now, you can see why he's had to redesign his drum set, because of so much more expanded electronics that he's doing on the new record. If anybody knows what those pads are, please tell me, because I would like one. Man, you gotta be... Your hard drive has to be so clean to remember all this shit. Jesus. He always uses double bass tastefully. That's a classic drum fill. like that smile there. Danny Carey's such a good dude too. If you watch the interviews with him, he's a big sweetheart. That smile there was just like, ha ha, we pulled that off. I love watching those moments of musicians. Yeah, buddy. Connecting like that. Like that was him looking at, maybe I think Justin would be over here. I think Justin's onto his left. It's like, haha, motherfucker. How do we just did that? Okay, so here's something that I wanted to get into earlier. That is something that's really advanced. And he's doing it right here. Dynamics in, like, how do we put this? Like, interlimb dynamics, where he is able to play one volume on one. So it's just another level that he does. God, is he the best drummer in the world? He might be. He might be. And we're going to see it right here. I'm going to bring it back just a little bit. He's playing one volume in his right hand, and he's playing another volume in his left hand. That's real jazz. That's real jazz theory there. Not theory isn't the right word, but that's a jazz influenced. Where, like, say, I had to deal with this in college. My professor would have me playing the Ted Reed syncopation book, and I'd be, swinging in one volume here, and he'd want me to play, I'd say mezzo forte here, and he'd want me to play piano here. He takes it a whole other level. At any time, he's playing all these different rhythms in all four limbs, but he might be playing forte, fortissimo, and piano in his left hand. And that, my friends, if you can touch that, that's like touching the sun. And there's no other metal, progressive rock drummer that I can think of that goes to that level of it. No, he has gotten louder. That interlimb dynamic was really shown when he was doing all of that pad stuff moving all around. God, Danny Carey. Man, Danny, are the rest of us even playing drums? Are we all even playing drums? Like, I don't think we are, if Danny Carey still exists in the world. He's 58 years old. He is at the top of his game. There is some health stuff in there. As you get older, I mean, I'm feeling it now at almost 43 as a drummer, because drums are such a physical instrument. As we get older, our bodies break down on us, and the drums are such a body instrument. You can tell he probably eats right. I mean, he lives in LA, so he probably eats right. He's in shape. He don't smoke. You have to, as you get older, you have to take care of your body more. I was even, like, the last time I was really playing on the road regularly, I was in, I was 39, 40. And even then, those Sunday mornings were hitting me a little bit harder than those Sunday mornings when I was 25. And he's not allowing the deterioration of his body to fuck with his art at all. He's better than he's ever been, and that's something that maybe we can take away. Like I said, me trying to break down a lot of what he was doing is like an illiterate man trying to explain James Joyce. There's just so much, it's overwhelming. I would take 3 days doing that song in like 10-second increments to be able to just like figure out really what he was doing. But for all you cats out there that are getting older, man, you got to take care of yourself if you want to keep the ability up. Look, man, I saw Kiss on the original reunion tour in the late 90s when Peter Criss came back, and it was sad, man. Peter Criss obviously had not taken care of himself, and he was bad. He was really bad. He was just bad, and he used to be good, and you could tell it was because of body deterioration and not taking care of yourself. Danny Carey is doing it better than everyone, and he's so humble. When I did that Meshuggah video, I found out that Tool invited Meshuggah to go on the road with them because they wanted to study them. They wanted to study their habits. Also read a thing where they also put them on tour because they wanted to see if they actually could pull that shit off. And just the fact that, like, Danny Carey, there's a drummer out there that Danny Carey's like, holy shit, I want to see that guy play every night. That's how great Thomas Hockey is. I know how to say his last name now. He's a constant student. You can tell he's always learning. He's probably just the way I feel from him, especially with this new record. I feel like he gets up in the morning and he thinks, what is one new thing that I can learn? What is one new thing I can add? And that is something to take inspiration from. If you're a drummer out there and you're really trying to do it, are you trying to really do it, or are you half-stepping? Do you get up in the morning and do you think, what is one or two things that I can improve on today? And if you do that, it'll add up and you will always be getting better. You're probably not going to be better than Danny Carey because he might be the best drummer ever, but you can be the best that you can be. And if you want to try to be the best you can be, study Danny Carey, study all the greats, and keep practicing until it's easy.